I freaking love time lapses. Time lapses are a great way of showing your viewers a longer amount of time as time passes by in a really small amount of time. So this is why today I'm trying to explain you how I do my time lapses so you can too. First of all, you of course need the proper gear for this. This includes a camera and or a phone, a somewhat stable tripod, a computer. Also make sure you have a power cable for your laptop and maybe external batteries for your mobile phone. If you got the money, you can get a DSLR remote, but I don't got that either, and we just want to keep this as simple as possible. Of course, what you also need is a nice view. The setup is really easy. Just place your phone or your camera on the tripod in front of your view. When you set up the phone, you can attach an external battery to it, because taking time lapses really drains your battery. Nowadays, modern phones almost always have a time-lapse mode included. Just choose the time-lapse mode, click on record, and the phone does everything by itself. This is a really simple way and quite possibly the best way to do time lapses as you go. The same procedure can be used for your camera. Just set it up on a tripod, start recording a video, and then later speed it up. But we want to do it the proper way. So go to manual picture mode, choose the settings as you like. If you're photographing against the sun, most likely a really high aperture. And then, as we do not have magic lantern installed or a proper remote timer, connect your camera to your computer or Mac. Also, by setting this up, make sure your computer is not running on battery but is connected to power, so it won't shut off. In this case, I'm using EOS Utility because I have a Canon camera, but there's similar software for cameras of other manufacturers. Now in the software you can set the timer, the delay between shots, and how many shots you want the camera to do. Usually for clouds and really big panoramic views, I go with 10 seconds and 300 to 500 pictures. This takes around an hour to shoot it, and the final time lapse will be between 10 and 20 seconds, depending on your frame rate and depending on how long you want it to be. But to make your time lapse really look great, you can go with any framing techniques that have been there for years. So turn on your 3x3 grid and maybe also diagonal framing, so you can set up a nice framing where you have things to look at. Also, what I really like to use is multiple layers, like some houses in the front, then you have a forest, and then you have the sky. That's 3 layers that give an effect of depth to your picture. Also make sure there's at least one thing moving in your time lapse, otherwise you could just take a picture and show it for 10 seconds. When you've done this, the editing part is really easy. I'm using Lightroom and Premiere, but you can use any software you like that has kind of the same features. First, in Lightroom, import all of your pictures. Then edit the first picture to look nice and to look really good. Command A to mark all of the other pictures, right click and synchronize with all the other pictures. Then go to export and export them with the original file name as a sequence. This takes some time, like 10 to 15 minutes depending on your computer. Just go and take a break while this exports. Then I'm opening up Premiere Pro, where I go on import and import the pictures. But I only choose the first picture and check import as sequence. You might have noticed that the pictures have names ending like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And if you import it as a sequence, you just have one file and not like 500 pictures you have to drag manually into your timeline. Now you can mark the sequence, and by using keyframes you can edit a small zoom in or zoom out. After you've done this, just set the in point by pressing I at the beginning and the out point by pressing O at the end. Then go to sequence and render your sequence so you can look at it in full HD. Of course, this is like the proper and best way to do your time lapses, but if you're cheap, maybe if you got no camera or if you got no time or no computer in range, just take your mobile phone and use the time-lapse mode. It works as well, and to be honest, I don't think most people who watch videos on YouTube will notice the difference. Okay, this was no real vlog today, but I hope I see you again tomorrow.